beauties! My name is Jorgina. In today's video, I'll be unboxing and testing out Arrtx acrylic markers and drawing a sketchbook spread of Kaoruko Waguri from the shonen anime titled The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Let's show the grand reveal of these markers. These markers come with sticker labels, but this time Arrtx improved the packaging by making the top of the markers come labeled already. And I'm so happy they listened to the community's feedback. Here's how the marker nib looks like. Now let's move on to swatching. Honestly, it took me so long to swatch the markers because there were just so many of them that it filled up the whole page. Like, what? I honestly find this to be my favorite set yet in terms of the markers color range, and I'll talk about that in the later part of the video. If this is your first time hearing about Arrtx acrylic markers, they are layerable, waterproof, and long-lasting markers that can be applied to any surface. Unlike traditional markers, you can layer them on top of each other and they don't bleed through the back. If you would like these acrylic markers for yourself, I'll be leaving the links of them in the description. And once again, thank you so much to Arrtx for sending me these markers. I need Arrtx. Now let's move on to the actual drawing. I placed extra effort in cleaning up this sketch and it took me around 2 hours to finish. My favorite part about these markers is that they are so easy to use. You don't have to press them down or shake them to activate them, like the usual acrylic markers. They pretty much are that one art supply that you can pull out and use anywhere because they require no effort to use. What sets acrylic markers apart from regular markers is that you can layer them on top of each other just like paint or digital art. It honestly feels like the modern art supply and it gives such a unique, clean, digital-like finish. Something I really want to talk about is the color range of this marker set. I was so surprised when Arrtx added so many shades of peaches and pinks for the skin tones and blushes. It made me so surprised because the previous marker sets barely had any anime-like skin tones, so I had to use alcohol markers or layer the markers together. But finally, after 10 months of waiting, they have a pale skin tone that isn't too pink or too yellow that I can happily use for my anime art. And like usual, the color range was absolutely beautiful. Everything was super pretty together, and this is my favorite color range from all because I think they finally have a better range of pastel, bright and dark colors in one set. And can we just talk about their packaging? They recently revised their old marker sets to have a more compact packaging so that it would give the user a much easier time carrying it around and storing it. And that just shows how much Arrtx cares about their users and community feedback. This marker set also allows it to be layered by other art mediums such as pens, colored pencils, fine liners, and white gel pens. And now that I've been using these markers for 10 months, they've slowly become my favorite line of Arrtx markers. I recently brought them to school for an art project thrice, and my groupmates absolutely loved using them. They created such cute artworks and wanted to know where I got these markers from. The first project was this poster that I mainly used the Arrtx markers for, and just look at how beautiful it looks. My printer broke, so I had to step out of my comfort zone and draw, but I'm honestly glad that my printer broke because I couldn't have asked for a better project. I also designed a bowl out of these acrylic markers. We had to do this Japanese tradition called
Kintsugi,
where they turn shattered bowls into works of art. And I had so much fun using these markers, and it honestly felt like a cheat when everyone else was struggling with acrylic paint. And my bowl got a lot of compliments from passerbys, which made me super happy. The Arrtx markers really saved my butt this time. But a little downside I noticed from this marker line is that they don't really last that long. While they do have a decent amount of ink in them, they do run out quickly compared to other Arrtx lines with liquid ink. But they offer individual markers on their website if you want to get the marker back, so at least it's not permanently gone. I also noticed that over time, the tips do get damaged, especially when you're working on rough surfaces. So if you buy these markers, I'd advise you to be really careful not to use them on rough surfaces, and as much as possible, you use them on mostly smooth surfaces. I also recommend creating a swatch sheet because not all markers match the cap and some dry darker and some dry lighter, but overall this part is not really a big deal. Even with the cons, I find these markers to still be super fun to work with as long as you take care of them well and hopefully not use them up on a huge project. This specific marker line also has quite a few sizes. It has a 12 metallic set, 30A, 30B, 30C and 30D set, 36D set, 48 set, 60A and 60B set, 90A and 90B set, and lastly the 120 set. which I think might be their final size. Honestly, it's up to your budget on which size you'll get, but if you were to ask me what I would get, I would probably choose the 60B or the 120A set because they're actually made for anime artworks like mine. I really hope that this review gave you some insights on which marker line you should purchase based on your needs and preferences. Now that I'm done with the review, here's a random yap session. A lot of people were asking me how my school is going so far, so I thought I'd give an update. I recently started senior high school and so far it's actually been super fun. We already have quizzes, but the lessons have been really fun for me except for science and English for academic and professional purposes, or EAPP. And I have a new favorite subject, which is entrepreneurship, because I honestly find it to be the most interesting and really fun. Mostly because I aspire to be an entrepreneur one day. And I know I said in my back to school prep that I was all alone because I didn't have any friends in my class, but I ended up making some new friends. My new friends have a lot of similar interests to me and I find them to be so whimsy and fun to be around. I also ended up getting elected as the class president, but to be honest, I have absolutely no idea about what's going on because I've never been a class officer in high school before. But I hope to make my class whimsical and fun. This school year is supposed to be the hardest and most stressful school year, but I honestly think that it might actually be the fun kind of stressful, and not the horrifying type of stressful. If your school year has started, how has your school year been so far? I hope that it's doing well. But if it's not, I hope that it gets better. Okay, that is about it for my school update. Now let's move on to talking about the artwork. I decided to draw Waguri because recently Misha has been talking about her a lot, so I thought it would be a cute surprise to draw her. Honestly, she's so cute and has a lot of pink outfits, so I thought she would be the perfect one to draw. The Fragrant Flowers Blooms with Dignity has actually just came out recently, but I haven't really watched it yet because I don't like waiting for the episodes to come out. I want them out all at once so I can just binge watch it. As for the design, I decided to draw a super cute cake roll since she apparently loves eating sweets, which I find to be so cute because she looks so sweet. Aww! The pink outfit in her full body illustration is actually her school uniform, which is like, what? You have that as a school uniform? It looks so cute. I also saw a drawing of her on Pinterest where she was doing like 2 peace signs and I found it so cute, so I decided to draw that one in specific with one of her outfits in a Polaroid picture. And I honestly loved how this artwork turned out and I have no regrets choosing her as the person I draw for this video. And here's the final reveal of the artwork. Comment down below which pink character you would like me to draw next. If you made it up to here, comment down below the word art. And if you would like to see more cozy and silly content like this, feel free to subscribe and follow my other socials. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling pretty.